everyone. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you're doing well. And I'm gonna just do hello. I'm not sure who this is. Tom Dubs? Like, who is this? Thank you for joining live. I hope you are doing well. I'm going to pull some cards um, for this coming week ahead, and we'll do by sign. Going to start with we're going to start with earth signs first since we're in. Oh, hi Sasha. I didn't realize you were on Tommy's TikTok. That is hilarious. Look at you infiltrating your way through. I love it. How are you doing today? It's such a nice day out. So we'll do earth signs first and see what's coming up. Then depending on how things are, I got started a little late because I was out at a celebration for person's birthday party. Interesting. I'm gonna just do this one more time. Oh, you were out in the garden harvesting. What did you harvest? What kinds of things did you harvest? Hi, everyone. Hope you are doing well. We're gonna pull for earth signs, and then we'll do some maybe yes or no questions afterwards. Ooh, shishito peppers, delicious. Okay, so for earth signs, this one fell on the floor. Ah, okay, so Criscola, this is one of the stones, the turquoise. So this particular card right here is asking you to start fresh. So um, I know that with the retrograde, things tended to move a little bit slower. And I think sometimes when we do things, we hope for instant gratification, and that may not necessarily happen. But or you may be working in your purpose and the results that you've done in the past aren't happening in the way that you thought it was going to happen. So one of the things that I recommend is to start fresh, is to maybe just start over. Maybe if you're doing something, maybe think about it in a different context or like a platform of doing that, right? So, for example, like the way that I'm doing work and readings before, like the type of readings that I was doing, maybe like choosing a different type of format or platform, or also just maybe seek a mentor. I definitely recommend it if you are trying to figure out how to work with your gifts, or maybe think about like how you can utilize whatever you're trying to do in community in a different way. So just because something doesn't happen or the way that you think you want it to happen doesn't mean that it's not successful. Usually, when those sorts of things happen, use it as information for you to gather and figure out what could be better from whatever you're working on. So yeah, so Earth signs start fresh this week. This eclipse, full moon coming up. So this is right on target with the starting fresh release time as well. So with the full moon, releasing all the things that you're holding. So write a list maybe of things that are keeping you stuck, or feel like you can't get out of the cycle or pattern. And then I like to do is maybe write it down, or you can potentially like burn whatever that is on a piece of paper, and think about how you want to just release that energy and visualize it as you also burn it as well. Hi, everyone who's joining. So we're just going through um, the different elements and the energy this week. So um, tomorrow's full moon, so it's also release period. It's also Monday. So Monday is also a moon day as well. So one of the things that I like to recommend on those types of things, synchronicities together, also too, if you can do some sort of moon based energy practice. So sometimes, like when I teach yoga, it's not necessarily sun salutations, it may be more moon related salutations. Also putting that with the eclipse might help you. Are any of you guys really feeling the eclipse right now? I know the last couple of days been a little chaotic. I've been trying to meet with a mentor and timing, like there's just chaos around timing, like things are just not happening. So, um, so we're gonna move on to air signs next. It's so nice to have a community of folks who are drawn in. So I'll ask the angel spirit guides. What do air signs, what energy do they need to work with this week? Okay, that popped out pretty well. And it popped out again earlier. So remember your worth. So one of the things that is hard um, when we're trying something new, or in this case, like I like to tell folks, if you're working in your gifts, sometimes it's hard to ask for our value, or even with a job, right? Because we just, either want that situation really badly, or in a lot of ways, I tell folks, like, if it's a gift, like people just assume those things come to them really easily, but don't dis don't discount what your value is. And so I was just talking to a friend last week. If someone gives you an offer, especially right now with how things are going financially, folks are asking for your services. Go beyond what you think you would go. Don't play it small. And the reason why is when you start asking for your value, that also raises your own vibration. So money is energy. Just like whatever service you're offering, that is energy expunged. And so if you're wanting to get a more high paying, or you're wanting more of a different status, you need to ask for beyond what you think is what you can be satisfied with, right? So my suggestion is do your research, look at what other folks are charging, but also tap in internally. Why do you not charge your value, right? What is it about not charging your value? Where did you learn that from? And I also talk about myself too, right? I do this work because I also enjoy it and I enjoy helping people, but I also, healers back in the day were paid, right? And taken care of. And so my recommendation is go beyond what you think. And if it doesn't fit their budget, negotiate with them. They can always say, this is my price. Let me know if this works. If not, I'm willing to negotiate what is that offer that may potentially work with you, right? So know your worth, remember your worth, don't overdo it. Also, if you extend yourself too much, that also seeps energy, which also kind of moves your vibration down. So be mindful of what your boundaries are, not only just money wise, but also energetically too. Hi, how are you doing? Got some new folks on. Hi, Maya, nice to meet you. So we're going to move on to, we'll do water signs next, and then we'll do fire signs, and then I'll do maybe a couple yes, no questions. So So we'll do water signs. What energy do we need to be aware of this week? And I ask ancestors, spirits, and guys today, like the cards have been popping out, they like certain things this morning I was pulling for this week. And definitely thank you so much for the badge. I appreciate you all. Like the cards were just flipping out. Okay. So water signs, garnet. So you're being asked to ignite your passion. So for water signs, I don't know. I know a couple water signs like who've been going through stuff more than lately. I'm not sure if that's you, but um, if you've kind of gotten off track with like what brings you fire, this is the time to allow yourself to discover what brings you not only your passion but what sorts of things do you want to call in this season, right? And especially this week. It seems like for some of you all, and I know other water signs, like they're doing work just to do work, and the way that ancestors and guides in this next season want us to work collectively is not doing the things just because the system and the institutions require us to do it, right? You do a job and the job requires you to do these things, right? But in a lot of ways, the things that we do that are in our purpose do make us happy and do liven us up. Oh, look, I have a little guy in my head. Um, thank you all so much for the gift. So my recommendation to you is maybe make an inventory of this week. Like, what is it that you feel that's missing? Um, do some sort of creative activity, water signs. See out of those creative activities, like what brings that spark back to you. Because sometimes when we're misaligned and the wrong job, that can affect other things around you, especially your money. So, if you're not feeling passionate, you're not feeling excited about the things that you're doing, this is the time to take inventory and to allow yourself to sit in that. So, thank you all for the gifts. I appreciate it. So, water signs, you guys got some work to do. So, we're going to do fire signs next. Not doing yes, no questions just yet. I'm going to finish this other element and then I'll do yes, no. I have to go get my other deck. So, hold on 1 second. So, fire signs, what is it that you need to, what energy are you bringing this week? And you're asking for the ancestors and guides. Mm. So, fire signs, this is kind of funny because you also fiery, but it's also a sunstone. So, you're being asked to take pleasure in the things that you do. So, my question to fire signs, what does pleasure mean to you? What sorts of things go back to your inner child? What are some of the things that you used to do when you were a kid? Um, because right now, in this particular time period, that inner child piece is very important because usually that's where the imaginative energy comes in. And that's usually, I always tell folks, the inner child is really the framework, the foundation for us as adults. And what happens is we stop playing as adults, right? So, what are some of the things in childhood that you enjoy that gave you pleasure that you can bring back into this time period? I believe it's sunstone. This is also redstone, so this might also be root chakra. I have to go back and look. But that is also tied with creativity too. So, um, yeah, so I think fire signs, what you need to do is get back into more simplicity, and bringing that joy and excitement to the things that you do. Um, and just out of curiosity, like, is there something, one of the practices that I like to do is think about, like, what are some of the things that I'm enjoying at this moment, and think about, like, once a week, uh, think about what brought me joy that week, what brought me pleasure, what brought me excitement, and then write about what was that particular thing that, um, allowed me to have something to look forward to. Because the piece is that what folks don't understand is if you don't shift your energy, then mentally that also affects you, and then it affects your manifestations. So, um, a lot of folks are wanting specific things like money, etc., right? Hi, nice to see you. Um, and so if we're not thinking about the things that we're attracting, in terms of joy, mindset. And what I mean by mindset, yes, like, it doesn't mean that you have to be positive all the time, but you do need to look at what are some of the, like, glass half full things that are working out. And you could still honor the things that are going bad, right? But when you do shift a little bit of that energy, things start to kind of open a little bit more. So, while this, what I was just speaking about, were for sun signs, or fire signs, excuse me, for everyone collectively, I think it would be really important to use that as a practice, weekly practice, just to set the tone for the week ahead. So, I'm gonna get my other deck, and then I'm gonna pull some other cards. Um, Hold on one second. Let me get one thing.